Hi everyone. Sorry again that I'm not there with you, but definitely will be back next week. So today we're continuing on with our sensory analysis, and today you're going to have a go at doing some taste testing and putting these practices into practice. So you hopefully have read this chapter, but I thought I would just go through a few things which will help for conducting your taste test today. So we're going to be really looking at the qualitative sensory analysis. So this is to try and determine the quality of products. So there's many different types of testings that companies will do, and they will get consumers to come in and do these taste testings. And it's usually to try and work out how we can make it better, whether we're trying to create a product that is similar to another product, how we can improve on what we're doing. So preference testing is something that is quite subjective, and they're used to determine how samples of food differ from each other. So they don't evaluate specific characteristics like crunchiness or smoothness or acidity, but they're more on your preferences, like whether you like them or not. So in a hedonic scale, so the one here you can see all these lovely little happy faces and not so happy faces, consumers are actually asked to rate a food sample somewhere on that scale between dislike extremely or like extremely. So most common point of scale is a 9.1, but sometimes they use different ones. There's another one, and you're going to be doing these today. Another one is called a ranking test. So you rank in order of your preference with slight differences or or there might be significant differences. So basically just from what you most preferred to what you least liked. So we definitely will be doing that. And I'll open up the sheet that you're going to be following today and explain which ones we're actually doing. So then there's some discrimination or difference tests. So sometimes they want to see whether people can actually taste the difference between two products, and they'll have something that they call a reference. So this is the standard one, and then you'll have two more samples. One will be the same as the reference and the other one will be different, and they will get you to try and see whether you can differentiate from that. So that's the duo-trio test. There's also ones that are paired comparisons to indicate which one of the two samples is preferred. So do you like sample A or sample B? Or often they'll be numbered like 230 or 473. Which one do you prefer? A triangle test, that's the one that where two of the samples are the same and one is different, and you basically need to try and work out if you can actually tell what that is. Then there's another one called a profiling test, where you can record the intensity of particular parts of a product. So you can have a look here with a sausage roll, and we're going to be doing this with muesli bars today. So you'll need two different colored pens. So sample A, you might use a red, and sample B, you might use a blue. And then you'll end up with different results here. So I might try one particular muesli bar and go, moisture, yeah, it's pretty good. So I might put a little dot here. Then I might go crunch, and I might go, oh, it's really crunchy. I love it. It's fantastic. And I'll put that one quite high. I might look at consistency and shape and give it another one here, and then you eventually join these dots. And we did that for our snack packs as well. So you're a little bit familiar with that already. And you'll need to just write down a little key so I know which of your colored pens is which sample. So then you have food technologists which are highly trained in, determining different characteristics of products, where they do quantitative sensory analysis, and that's looking at the quantities of food. And also it's not based on personal feelings or preferences, it's based on facts. So they'll be looking at particular things, and these people are trained to have the same results according to the criteria. So one thing that I was kind of having a think about, which, we're not obviously able to do as well in a school environment, is that, you can't have your own little cubicle, and you can't do it where you're not near each other. Like, if you want to today, you can separate and take one bench each. So when you're doing it, you're not copying each other and you're not talking about it. But it is really important to try and just think about your own answers. And really important to grab a glass of water because you're going to need to cleanse your palate in between. So really important when you've got food in front of you, you write down the smell first. So you smell away from your hands. So don't put your hands and hold the product. Actually just bend down to smell it because occasionally, you know, our hands have scents on them, especially if you've got hand cream or if, you know, you've been cooking and you've got particular food odors still lingering on those hands. So smell the food, record that, and then taste. And please drink water in between each sample as well. So that's really important. Mrs. Wilson is kindly going to set that up for you today, so you don't have to do theory the whole double. You can watch this, then you can go and do that, and then we'll start talking about the next topic as well. So scientific sensory analysis equipment they use in the industry, you can read through that. I'm sure that you've kind of covered some of this already, but they, food technologists use machines as well to help evaluate ranges of textures and even aromas, and you can have a little watch of these to just see. So I'll just flick onto the document that's got all your testing on it. So you're going to be completing this today. So your first one is going to be 4 different samples of popcorn. So even, Malachi, if you don't like particular foods, I need you to do this because this is going as part of your SAC and I need you to be able to do some taste testing. So please all have a go. Obviously you can take a chew, spit it in the bin if you really don't like it, but it's not offensive food. It's just, you know, basically snack foods, most of it. So please smell your food first and write down some descriptive words. And then hold your nose as you are taking a bite, because sometimes our palate will actually give us a flavour that we're smelling. So I want you to try by smelling, then you can write down, you know, the appearance, what it looks like. Then I want you to hold your nose, put the popcorn in your mouth, chew it, and then have a little think. And you might want to close your eyes when you do this because it's, you know, trying to not be distracted. You know, what's the texture like? Is it crunchy? Is it soft? Is it chewy? You think about some words that might be good there. And then describe the flavour, okay? Is it salty? Is it sweet? Is it creamy, like a creamy taste? Is it, you know, have a little think about that. Then have a drink of water. And then try the next one. So keep on going through that. And then you just need to write a little summary on your thoughts of the importance of smell when assessing the properties of a food sample. So I know that some people, you know, like during COVID lost their sense of smell. And it's, if you ever talk to anyone who can't smell anything, food just does not taste the same. And it's really not that enjoyable. So the next one, you're going to do the paired preference. So you're going to get 2 different samples of yogurt. And you won't know what brands they are because they'll have these numbers on them. And you're going to take a little teaspoon and try it. And then you're going to tick the sample you prefer. So you might prefer 467. Someone else might prefer 359. Then you need to explain why you preferred one sample to the other. And then you can write some sensory properties in your response. So that's a preference test. And then I want you to think about why manufacturers might use this type of sensory test. And then we'll talk about this next week. So the next one is the odd one out, the triangle test. So you've got 3 different numbers here. So you will observe the sensory properties of samples of crisps or chips and circle the different one. So 2 will be the same, 1 will be different. You need to try and see if you can work out which one it is. And then why, sorry, still tired, why food technologists might use that test. Next one is 3 different samples of chocolate. Yay, some of you are saying. Alex, you're going to be very excited about this one. You need to rank these in order of sweetness. So the sweetest one will be number 1, The next one, number 2, and the one that's not as sweet is number 3. Then you'll try 3 different types of fruit juice, and then you're going to rank them according to their strong. So if something's really strong and very intense in flavor, you'll give it a 9 or a 10. And then if it's really weak, you might only give it a 1. And then we're going to this Hedonic Scale. So this is with your nice little happy faces and not. 3 samples of cheese. You can write down what they are. And then you can just put a tick in which box you think might be the best one there. And, you know, where it is. Do you like it a lot, or dislike it? You know, is it disgusting? Never want to buy that again. Then you've got the profiling test, which is about the muesli bar. So you're going to rank them according to these different criteria. So each little line along here has a number. So 0 in the middle, 1, and then right up to number 5. So 5 being really good, 1 being not so great. Does it have a chocolatey flavor? Or does it have, you know, how sweet is it? Is it rough? Is it chunky, crunchy, oaty, rectangular shape, golden color? And then you've just got a few extra questions there to answer. So I'd really appreciate if you could get that done and send that through to me. And then, so I've got a couple of minutes left on this. The next chapter we're going to be looking at next week is about commercial and domestic or small scale settings. So if you can start having a read about this, just so you understand the terminology, so a bit of that flipped learning would be great. And then Tuesday we can have a chat about this, and then we'll start thinking about your sack where we're going to design a meal that could be sold as a takeaway from a cafe or you know, a supermarket. I just walked past a deli this morning while I was picking up a couple of things, and I took a photo to show, you know, there's homemade meals now available at delicatessens, which, you know, there never used to be when I was a lot younger. So thinking about commercial settings, obviously those big businesses compared with smaller settings. You know, I've recently just gone to Tassie. We stayed in a little farm stay. We stayed at, and, you know, went to lots of little cafes, and little food businesses were sort of here, there and everywhere. And then looking at domestic settings, so like home cooking, or you cook maybe for your friends or something. So if you can just go through some of this and then looking at some nutrition, watch this one here about Jamie Oliver. That would be great. I'll pop it on Schoology so you remember, because we're going to get into looking at some nutritional information as well. So if you can sort of just start getting a step ahead, because I'm quite conscious that we don't have a lot of weeks left, and we've got 5 more topics to kind of get through, as well as 2 small sacks to do. So we're going to need to kind of skip through this reasonably quickly. So if you guys can have a good read, watch Jamie Oliver about health tips, have a little read about nutritional panel information, and then so this won't be as new information for you, because we've done a bit of this throughout, you know, the years. So it's really looking at nutrition, gut health, and then looking at sensory consideration, so the appearance of food and food styling, choosing the right packaging, the right plate to serve things on, and then, you know, that whole balancing food flavors, the salty, sweet, sour, bitter, spicy, and the umami. So there's some videos in there, and I might just pop up which ones I'd like you to watch before Tuesday. So I'll pop that on Schoology, and I will see how you go. But all the best. Enjoy tasting some foods today. Try and put your absolute best work into that, because it will go on your report. Okay? Great. Enjoy. Bye.